Okay, today I'm with Amit. We are in a park, something like that, and we have a great view on 101. Okay, so first, okay, Amit, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name is Amit. I'm from India, the capital of India, Delhi, and I've been in Taiwan for 3 years. I completed my master's, worked as a research assistant, and now doing my PhD in neuroscience. And I'm sitting here with Alex, as he said, in this beautiful park, ready for the interview.
Okay, so you're here since already 3 years?
Yes, almost 4 years, yeah.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
I think I feel good because I feel like a different person than I was back in India. So a lot has changed, health, physical health, mental health wise, and financially.
So you mean you changed when you came here?
Oh yeah, my priorities I think changed drastically after coming here. I didn't care so much about my health before coming here, but now, I mean, it's just the Taiwanese culture. It promotes fitness, and also, I mean, if you want to do research of any kind, you need to be in a good mental state as well, because long working hours and a lot of patience in the whole scientific process, I suppose. So, yeah, you have to become a better person, otherwise, it's hard to stay in the game. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree on that point. Except of that, even for me, it was kind of same. When I came here, I kind of changed my life. I think when you go abroad, it's more easy to change your bad routines if you're really motivated about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I've told you several times, I used to be a smoker. I quit that. I was quite lazy. I still am, but now I try my best to stay in shape as well, like hiking, cycling, whatever it takes. So that has changed, and sleeping and waking on time, eating healthy, socializing enough. I think socializing is a tough one when you have long hours, but still, yep.
Okay. Okay. So you've been here already for 4 years. Can you tell me what do you don't like about Taiwan? And you can be
Oh,
straightforward. You can be. It's okay.
yeah, I think there are several things. I mean, no place can be perfect, I
Sure. Sure.
suppose. So, first of all, the language issue. I mean, it's nobody's fault,
Mm.
but it's just a tough reality that majority of people will not understand you unless you struggle or use sign language or Google Maps. Oh, sorry, Google Translate. And but yeah, that's still tolerable. But the weather, like it rains unexpectedly, like there's no weather prediction. So these are the superficial things, eh, but more serious stuff, I think people are a little distant compared to I think where I'm from.
Mm.
So yeah, people don't take interest in each other's life
Mm.
too much, which can be a good thing, but certain times it can be isolating, especially if you're a foreigner, I suppose.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that too, because but on different aspect is more how we greet, for example, even like in French, it's very important that we say hello,
Mm.
bonjour in French, and here we don't really have that contact. So yeah, I kind of feel what you say about that distance. Do um, are you saying that kind of thing, or one different aspect of?
Yeah, I mean, if I have to explain, when I first came here, I was really clueless, and people helped me a lot, like strangers.
Mm.
Just went out of their way to help me in whatever situation I was. So that was really heartwarming. But later I realized, I mean, their personality is different from that helpful nature. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people, but they have a general tendency to be kind to people, but that doesn't extend too far. I mean, they will. It's hard to get into the Taiwanese, let's say inner circle. I mean, it's hard to be a real friend in their life. You might hang out with them, but I think it takes a lot for them to accept you as one of their own. So that's just what I think.
Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree. I said in another podcast that when I first came in Taiwan, I met some Taiwanese who were very friendly with me. Like we hung out together, we even traveled together, and after that, less. It was suddenly like nothing, no more contact. Like, are we gonna see each other next time? And there wasn't next time. Yeah. So I think it's kind of part of culture. Like we are very friendly with new people just coming here to welcome them, and after that, yeah, it's more. It's as you said, a circle, and yeah, I think it's a bit. It's too bad. I think, yeah, because in France it's a bit different. It's like it's very hard to get friends in France, but when you get in that circle, you will stay. Yeah, it depends, but in general, it's more like this.
Yeah, even in India, I mean, obviously, I'm not a foreigner to Indians, so I might be a little biased, but from what I've seen, Indian people really want to get to know foreigners in general and really will welcome you in all ways um, to get into their life and understand their life, and also they'll understand yours. So it's a reciprocal kind of like I think the people I know want to know you as a person. Like they really want to be your friend. But from the experience here tells me people just want to have a good time, and I mean they have people in their lives already like before you landed here. So
Sure, it's normal. Yeah.
I suppose it's just at some level it's entertainment, which is not bad, but as a foreigner, like when you know nobody, you expect at least a few deeper relationships, and it can be hard to find those. It can take a long time.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's very frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. You have something else in mind that you don't like?
Not really. I mean, food was a problem, but yeah, mostly superficial problems come to mind. I do feel, apart from the language gap, like let's say the language gap was not there, I still think there will be a social distance um, with the kind of culture that is here. So, like people leave each other alone. That's very nice. That's something I cherish here. Um, like as a foreigner, you will raise eyebrows, but it's nothing mean. They're just people just curious. But that goes further than that. Like people are really not truly interested in your life. So it's just cultural difference maybe, or maybe I'm interpreting it wrong. But that's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that's our feeling about that. But of course, I think it depends on people. But it's our feeling about that.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about Taiwan?
Many things, I suppose. Like first of all, safety. Like I think Taiwan is one of the safest places on the planet. Not that I ever felt unsafe in my own country, but it is nice to just walk at any time and in any alley and know that most probably nothing is going to happen, and nothing has happened so far. Never heard anything bad. Like people are always kind to each other, and like this beautiful park. I mean, they really care about the wildlife and preserving their vegetation. Like the volunteering system, I like. People go and clean beaches. Even from our department, from our college, people go every month to clean the beaches. Just be volunteers there. That thing I never witnessed back home. That people, unpaid people, would take off their weekend to just clean someone else's mess. So that's different. And like I said in the beginning, that culture of fitness. I think even if you are slightly mentally disturbed, being physically fit really helps with your situation. like at least you can rely on your own body for whatever demands you have. Like the U-bike system, uh, for instance. I mean, it promotes eco-friendly ways of travel. And
We actually come here by
yeah,
U-bike.
we took a U-bike here, yeah, which is a little dangerous if a scooter hits you like these food panda people, almost popping out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean there are many things.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have maybe something else in mind that you like, especially? Or you already with me that? Yeah. I think you already say what you like in big.
Yeah, all that came to mind.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I want to ask you a question. Yeah, like, how do you feel about being Indian and live here? Do you feel something about that, about your origin?
Yeah, I think one thing people do not understand is that India is a giant country, right? Maybe I don't understand how Taiwanese people perceive themselves, but let's say people think, okay, it's a small island, and you can kind of generalize people in general. Like you can generalize what kind of people live in Taiwan because it's not a very, very big place. So, but in my country, it's like a bunch of countries. It is called a subcontinent. I mean, it is almost a continent. And when I go, like I'm from the north, if I go to the south, I don't recognize what people are talking about. I don't understand their language, east, west. I mean, no matter where you go, there's always a cultural shock in your own country. So, uh, what bothers me here is that people generalize um, things about Indians. Like they see something in the news and they think, oh, this happens all over the country, and probably everybody's like that. Or I think it's a lack of exposure, and it's not just towards Indians. I mean, towards foreigners in general. I think people have stereotypes, usually harmless ones, but they can get a little hostile. For instance, um, people have asked me a lot about women's safety in India. I mean, I get it. Yes, I'm not a woman. I don't know their struggles, but eh, I don't know. There's some implicit um, allegation that all Indian men are somehow doing something unjust, and I just think that's not true. So, uh, like sometimes, let's say I'm walking alone somewhere, and a lady passes by. Uh, I can see that person might be a little uncomfortable as soon as they realize who I am. I mean, where I'm from. Like they don't know who I am, but where I'm from. Let's say from my appearance.
Yeah.
So that feels a little. I mean, I can't blame them to worry about their own safety, but it just feels like, oh, well, I was not going to do anything to you. I don't know you. I'm just going home. So just the same as you. So that part feels a little uncomfortable. That my very identity, in a way, might make someone uncomfortable, and yeah, and I can change nothing about it. I mean, I am who I am. So yeah.
Okay. So, what's your worst experience about that? Do you remember? Do you have a bad experience?
Yeah, nobody ever misbehave. Like that's the good thing about Taiwanese people. I think they're not violent. I mean, one thing I was surprised. Like it's a little irrelevant, but in India you can't drink outside. Like you can't have alcohol and you can't take it to parks. You have to drink either at your home or in a bar. But here they just drink anywhere. Like even in I think US you have to cover it with a paper bag. But here you just just take it as if it's some milk tea, some boba tea you're carrying. And I used to think, why is that? Like, are people not scared? Do they not fight or scream at each other? And so far, it seems no. They just pass out at some alleyway or some mountain or some roadside. Like the worst they can do is just be a traffic problem. But yeah, so uh, no, I can't say I have had. Um, I've been in a violent or even verbally abusive situation. So, no, the ride has been smooth in Taiwan. But yeah, it's just uh, the stereotypes that bother me. Like it might be passive aggression that bothers me, and I mean I can't do anything about it, and I think other people can do something about it. They can educate themselves more if they care. I mean, they probably don't know that their judgment is wrong. They might think it's accurate. Who knows? But I think it's really. I don't want to say some rude word, but I think it's really inaccurate to judge people based on their appearance. Like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and I think that applies to people as well.
Yeah, I think it's mostly about ignorance. But yeah, so I think every country have cliché, but stereotypes. So yeah, there's just one thing that makes you uncomfortable. That's like if you walk in the street and one lady is walking.
Yeah, that was just an example, but that's as intense as it gets. But it can be anything. I mean, sometimes it's positive. Sometimes people think, oh, Indian people, they are good at engineering stuff. So, I mean, it's funny, but...
Another cliche.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I am kind of good at it, I think. But, I mean, you don't want other people to assume things about you.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, it just feels... You can just ask me, like, instead of assuming something about me. So... Yeah, because when I see Taiwanese people, I don't make predictions. I mean, I do, but based on my experience, but it's not like I think I must be right. Like, I just tell myself, okay, I think it might be so and so, but I'm probably wrong because I have experienced Taiwanese people for, 3 years in some time. So you should not put too much faith in your little piece of experience. So that's all.
Okay. In the opposite, what's your best experience here? Do you remember something that you really liked that you experienced?
In what sense?
In general.
Yeah, if I have to tell a story, I mean, I might have said something mean about Taiwanese people, so I'll say something nice as well. Like when I first came here, I was with my father and my brother, and we didn't know. Like the travel was really problematic because the station names are not in English in buses, and we didn't have the right applications. I mean, you don't know what to expect before you land here. So we were just in some bus, and someone gave us some piece of paper with the destination on it, and so I had to go to my dorm. My father and my brother had to go to their hotel, and we had pretty much no idea how to get there. So there was just this one guy in the bus. He saw that these 3 Indian people are very confused, so he just started talking to us. Even his English was really just broken words. So, but it was enough for our kind of communication. So he was so kind. He told us, okay, just get off at this stop. So he made my brother and my father change the stops. So and we were not prepared for the weather as well. We had only one umbrella. So
it was raining.
Yeah, it was raining, and we didn't know where to go. So yeah, quite a strange situation. And the guy, he dropped my brother and my father to a particular bus, and he said, okay, just go to Songshan station, and that's where their hotel was. And he just put them off, and then he said, okay, don't worry about this guy, like me, I'll drop him to his university as well. So he took me to another place, and he said, okay, get on this bus, it's when you see the 101, just get off the bus. And I said, all right. So, and it was raining, so he was so kind that he even gave me his umbrella. He said, I have a rain jacket, and I didn't want to take it from some he was already too kind, and I was thinking, no, I can't take your umbrella, but he insisted, and so I just took it. And that day I felt really good that like you're not alone, even if you don't know anybody here. It's not like, most probably nothing bad will happen to you. People will take care of you.
So it was your first time here?
Yeah, it was my first time
Okay.
here. Just
Wow.
one of the, I think probably the second day, like orientation, and then I don't know where we were that we needed transport, but we were somewhere. I don't even remember. Like it was so new. I didn't
Mm.
even know where I was in the city
Yeah.
and why I was there. But yeah, and another similar situation. There was this guy. He left his shop unattended. Like one guy in a shop, and he just left it to tell us where to go. And I was thinking, is nobody going to steal anything? Are you not worried? But apparently Taiwan is different.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't steal things. So yeah, again the safety issue is very nice. So I was surprised in the beginning that people can be so kind that they will
Yeah,
just
yeah,
leave whatever they are doing to help
yeah.
you.
Same for me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good example of what most of people said, like how Taiwanese can be kind and help you. Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about another subject. We already talked about Stoicism. Do you remember?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, just slightly. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I can't say I'm an expert. I haven't read too much, but from what I have read, I think it's really good for this modern kind of life we live in, because at least people like me, I think we feel a little um, away or disconnected from the way things are. Maybe many people feel this way, that yes, I'm a part of my surroundings. I go in metros with so many people, go to university and so on and so forth. But you don't feel like, I mean, even in a crowd, you feel like, where am I? Who is around me? I have no idea. So I think in such situations, you need some kind of mental discipline, not just physical routines, but also mental discipline, like knowing that, I mean, it's a modern city life, and
First, can you describe what is Stoicism?
well,
What do you think it is? Yeah.
I'll give my own version of
Yeah.
it. So so my version is just, it was a philosophical school of thought, like a movement where people are thinking about life in a different way. I mean, philosophy has always talked about life, but their ideas were more about discipline and being kind to each other, being mindful, being knowledgeable, and rational. So I think those things are very important. Like I was reading this, I think many people have read this book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. He was an emperor, and the way he writes, it doesn't sound like an emperor has written it, like a person with everything available at that time, that person has written it. It feels like just some regular guy wrote it. And the things he writes, they come so close to your heart. Yeah, that's so. I can't say I'm into Stoicism in all ways, but just reading what he wrote, like he used to write a diary entry now and then, and people have compiled those as a book, and it's very interesting. Like he didn't know that this was going to be published thousands of years later, and some Indian guy was going to read it. Or I mean, it's really surprising that people all over the world are embracing this kind of thought process and discipline, or whatever you call it. So like he writes about how each day you have to be prepared. Like anything can happen to you. People can say mean things to you. You might have goals and they can just fail, and you might lose faith in yourself. And like you have to be prepared about all this. And I think that's really important in such dynamic lives we live nowadays. Like so many influences, external influences all around us, and we really have to be mindful of what's going on around us and how to deal with it. So yeah, that's just my version of Stoicism. I just use it as a tool. Like I'm not really into the literature part of it. I don't
Yeah.
I don't read too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something to keep in mind. Oh yeah, I just want to, just remind something like, once I got a problem like when I moved house, and you were very nice. You left me your room because you were going back to India, and I really appreciate that. And after that, you said it was like kind of normal for you, and you couldn't let me in a misery. So, is it something like over in the Indian culture, or do you think? Or
I mean, I will not. If I say no, that's not Indian culture. I mean, it will imply that I'm extra nice.
Yeah.
But I think in that moment, because I knew you, like we lived in adjacent rooms, we lived right next to each other. So I knew that, because if you leave your belongings in a place and then let someone else stay there, there's definitely a safety and privacy issue. But I knew two things. I mean, first of all, I know you, you're my friend, and also you need. I felt like you needed some kind of help, and in that moment, I know, I don't know if I said it, but I just felt a sense of duty. Like I have to do this. Like this is the right thing, and I didn't think anything bad will happen out of it, or it just felt like the right thing to do, and I did it. That's it.
okay, cool. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Okay, so we almost finished. Is there some platform where we can find you
You mean
if you want to?
social media?
Yeah,
Um,
you don't have to if you want.
I mean, I'm not very active on social media, but sure, Facebook. I think you can find me. My name is Amit Rawal, Rawal, and that's it. I mean, yeah, I don't use too much social media, so
Okay,
yeah,
it's the same for me.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I think we can finish on that. Okay, thank you to have accept my invitation.
No, no problem. Thank
and
you.
I hope you enjoy it too.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. See you at the next interview. À la prochaine.
All right. See you.